Hey everyone, it's Holly from the Urban Homesteader, and this is a swarm trap. I thought today we would try something new and a little unique, at least unique to me. I've never done this before, and some of you know and some of you don't. Last year, Carrie and I actually caught a swarm that was real close to the bee yard at her place. And it kind of intrigued me enough to look into catching bees. This is what I found in a store not terribly far from me. Anyway, they happen to have these on the shelf there, and both Carrie and I got one. I was shocked that Carrie did because she was not excited about catching the swarm last year. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get that on video because it happened really fast and we had no time to even consider setting up a camera for it. But it was quite the experience. But good on her. So she has one of these at her place too. The reason she got hers is because she did not want to climb up, I believe it was an 18-foot ladder. I don't do ladders, so it was kind of up to her. Good on her, though, for wanting to do it. I mean, she didn't want to, but she did it. And so her theory is she's going to get a swarm trap and bring it down lower, because that was like the second time that swarm had, or a swarm had gone to that same spot on a tree near her. So she thought, I'm going to get a swarm trap and we're going to try to bring them down a little bit. If they're going to continue to swarm at her place, she might as well make it easier on herself. And of course, I just like the idea of catching bees that are needing a home. So I think, why not give this a shot? So this material is it kind of reminds me of like pressed cardboard. I'm not really sure what it's made out of. Almost like the egg cartons, but like a super thick version of it. And it's kind of just like a flower pot. There is nothing to it. There's, of course, a hole on the bottom, or maybe it's the top. I'm not sure if you're a bee. I don't know which way it goes. But then this little lid just fits in here like this. Before we bring this outside and decide to hang it on a tree, I also found that there is something that you can, it's like a recipe, and it's called a lure recipe. So it's something super easy. Basically, you need three things. You need a little baggie. You don't even need the baggie, but I'm choosing to do a baggie. One cotton ball and some lemongrass. So basically what we're gonna do is put a little bit of lemongrass. It says like 5 to 12 drops or something like that. This doesn't have a little dropper, so I'm just gonna dump it on here, and I don't know, what harm can be done? And we're gonna put it in a baggie. And my recipe that I found says that if you punch some holes in the baggie, it'll last longer. I'm just gonna not seal the bag all that far. And we're gonna end up putting this inside here, and that is apparently going to entice the bees to have this become their new home. So a little bit about the swarm trapping. What we need to do is look outside, and I've already kind of done a little bit of a walk around in the yard. It recommends that you hang this on hardwoods. Well, I am in the land of pines, and I am not sure. I've got like two options. I have a large oak in my backyard, side yard. And my thoughts on it are it'd be a great tree, but the branches are like, they're pretty high up there. I have a challenge with ladders, for one thing. I am short. They want this to be hung like 8 to 15 feet. So it's kind of an issue. I'm willing to try. My problem though with the oak tree is that the base of the oak tree is super slanted, and I don't think a ladder is gonna sit well over there. I don't know. I gotta give it a shot. Some of the other things that they're recommending is that it kind of be out in a clearing, that it gets morning sun and afternoon shade, and again, the height of this thing. Oh, and that the branches aren't like swing, so it's kind of in there securely. So we'll see. I have another tree kind of in our driveway actually, which could work, but it's not a hardwood, it's a pine. And it, what I've read is it just kind of says a pine would work, but the bees prefer a hardwood. So I'm gonna try for the oak. We're gonna see what happens. If I can't get a ladder to work for me on that, I'm moving over to the pine, but you guys are gonna come along with me and see how this works. And then that's it, we just kind of wait. As far as the lemongrass thing goes, I'm supposed to check on it if I don't see bees moving in. Check on it every 1 to 2 weeks and add more lemongrass to it, and super easy. One thing that I can do, and I don't have any on me right now because everything I have is at Carrie's house, is to bring in some old comb from like old hives. And I would have some over there. I just don't have it on me right now. And quite honestly, I just want to get this hung up. Next time I'm over at the bee yard, I'll try to remember to grab some, and I could throw that in here as well. And that's just another thing to kind of signal to the bees that, hey, this is a safe place and this would be a good place for a house. So Pat had asked me like, well, what happens when you get them in here? And I said, well, I bring the swarm trap off the tree, bring it down, and dump it into a hive. Now, I don't know if that means I'm going to set up another hive at Carrie's or if I'm going to set one up here. We have been in a debate about that. Not so much a debate, but heavy conversation about, do I want hives here at the house or leave it at Carrie's? And the problem that I am struggling with is the bears. We have a bear issue where I live. I have no fencing. And do I chance it? I don't know. I just need to see. First, I'm going to worry about, am I going to catch the bees or not? So I'm going to have you guys tag along with me outside and we're going to go from there. You guys can watch me hang this thing up. Well, I made it outside, and as I was wandering around the yard, Pat decided to poke his head out the back door and kind of check in on me, which is kind of what he does. I think he does that to see what I'm up to and make sure that I'm not getting into any trouble. But anyway, he came out and was chatting with me, and I was telling him that I wanted to find a tree for the swarm trap, and ideally it needed to be on a hardwood, but we just don't have any. We have that one oak, and we were standing by it and just kind of decided that it just wasn't the best option for us. So we continued to walk around and found a Plan B tree. Here it is, and there is indeed the swarm trap. You'll also see the ladder that I am not on. So I was lucky enough to have Pat agree with me that he would help me should we not get any bees in the next couple of weeks. He would indeed climb up on the ladder and get the swarm trap down so that I can put more lemongrass on that cotton ball. I'm so grateful that he helps me with all of my things. He's a trooper for sure. So that's it. We're just kind of going to wait and see what happens. This weather needs to seriously warm up a little bit for sure to entice these bees in. But certainly, should we catch any bees, I will be sharing that information with you guys and letting you know how excited. If we do catch some bees, we have to make a decision as to where we're going to hive them. So keep that in mind. I'm not sure what we're going to do right now. I'm just going to worry about getting the bees here. So thanks so much for watching. That's it for today's Swarm Trap edition. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and we can't wait to see you next time.